So Keith One Time Thurman, ladies and gentlemen, is claiming to make his comeback. What's happening? I am your host, Nice, and this is the Fight Room. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you do for the latest boxing news, feedback, and entertainment. So yes, bringing you more for today. Listen, Keith One Time Thurman stating just recently that if they offer him the fight with Terrence Crawford, that he will take that fight. But before that comes to fruition, let's talk this fight February 5th against Mario Barrios. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, young Mario Barrios from, we know, San Antonio, Texas, orthodox fighter that just had his first defeat against Gervonta Tank Davis. 26 wins, 1 defeat, 17 by knockout. Not a bad fighter at all. Ladies and gentlemen, a natural 140-pounder making his way up to fight Keith Thurman. So with that being said, Keith Thurman is trying to make his comeback. And who else to fight but Mario Barrios? Now, he stated in an interview with the Fight Stand with Brian Custer, and he stated that he is well prepared to make his comeback and, take all oppositions and claim his name as still Keith One Time Thurman. So with that being said, he knows that Terrence Crawford is top notch. He stated it. He knows about the fight with Errol Spence. And then, not for nothing, Brian Custer mentioned a young man rising up at the welterweight division by the name of Jaron Boots Ennis, and he asked him do you know who Jaron Ennis is? Because he previously stated that he did not know who he was. And he said, yes, the young man is talented or whatnot, this and that. And then later on, Brian Custer then asked again, who do you think is the most dangerous fighter in the welterweight division? Now, not for nothing, I want to just state this. He did say Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, the reason why I always said Jaron Ennis is a rising star coming up and probably potentially is going to be the number one guy later down the road. Now, they mention him and Virgil Ortiz Jr., and likewise, so do I. I think Virgil Ortiz Jr. is absolutely phenomenal. So with that being said, great fight later down the road. Everyone in the boxing world spoke about both of those guys probably being the potential for the welterweight division down the road. Now, let's talk this fight. Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios, February 5th, Showtime pay-per-view. Barrios, good fighter, knows how to box, knows how to use the ring, good jab, great fundamental boxing. Is he a dangerous fight for Keith Thurman? I must say, maybe, because he's a natural 140-pounder coming up to 147 to fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, the natural 147-pounder with a hard punch. Now, we have not seen Keith Thurman in, 2 years. Last fight, of course, Manny Pacquiao. Lost to Manny Pacquiao. Took some time off. Said he was going to come back about a year ago and then decided not to for some sort of reason. And not for nothing, before Mario Barrios matchup, there was another name that they threw out there for him to fight, whether it would be Mario Barrios or, he stated, Abel Ramos. Now, Abel Ramos is a good fighter as well, getting better and better as he comes along, and he's a PBC fighter as well. So with that being said, he said that the better name for some sort of reason was Mario Barrios. So now we have this fight, February 5th. My thoughts. We have not seen Keith Thurman in 2 years. Mario Barrios is a good fighter. I know he lost to Gervonta Davis, which I believe that if they would have gave him a chance, he still, of course, would have got knocked out by Gervonta. So gladly they stopped it a little early, not prematurely. At first I thought it was premature, but then I looked at it again. I said, you know what? He was going to get knocked out eventually because Gervonta was looking for that, even though Mario Barrios was winning the fight. If y'all go back to that fight with Gervonta, he was winning a lot of the rounds. So with that being said, Gervonta is a smaller fighter. Now we have a natural 147 pounder he's going to fight in Keith Thurman. 29 wins, 1 defeat, 22 by knockout. Now, with Keith Thurman, the thing is with Keith Thurman, I like how he fights, but he's an awkward fighter. He doesn't have a stable stance where he uses that. He can go from here to there to here to everywhere, which is cool because he's a hard fighter to find, right? Like Sean Porter had a situation with him. A lot of fighters have problems with Keith Thurman, right? And even with Pacquiao, he gave Pacquiao one of the best fights of his life. And Keith Thurman did quite well in that fight and gave Pacquiao some hell down the road as well. If you have really looked to that fight, he gave him some good punches. But with that being said, he still lost the fight. He took some time off and now he's back. So my thoughts. Can Keith Thurman come back and make that comeback as he's stating recently? Now he's claiming that he's really going to make this comeback now. Now we're going to have to hold him accountable to what he says from now on. If he wins this fight, after that, he better not take another 2 years, he better not take another 2 years off because we are expecting him to do what he says he's going to do and look for the best fights at the welterweight division if he passes Mario Barrios. Now, Mario Barrios is good, and I think he has some sort of a chance to beat Keith Thurman. Why? Because he's been the more active fighter in boxing thus far between the both. So with that being said, good matchup. But I think that Keith Thurman, the natural 147 pounder that is hungry, supposedly again, is going to make a statement in this fight and come back as Keith one time. So my thoughts overall, my conclusion, Keith Thurman shall pull off the victory, I think, by unanimous decision. And if he knocks out Mario Barrios, I'll give him much respect. But I doubt that he can. I don't think. Now, why I say that? Because he hasn't been in the ring, though. He's the more heavier fighter compared to Gervonta Davis, that came up and knocked out and stopped Barrios. But knockout, a KO, I doubt that. Maybe a TKO for Thurman later in the 10th round. But I believe it's going to go a unanimous decision for Keith one-time Thurman. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, don't forget to share the Fight Room.